Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. To all my new subscribers, I want to welcome you to the Savvy family. My name is Charlene, in case you don't know, and to my loyal ride or dies, welcome back for another video. Today's video is super special to me because if you followed my fragrance journey, you guys know how I feel about patchouli. I have gone through my fragrance collection and chosen the fragrances that are either heavy on the patchouli, they have patchouli in the opening, they might have patchouli in the base. Somewhere in the fragrance, we have a patchouli note. I cannot pinpoint exactly where this love for patchouli started. I started to notice like a pattern in my fragrance choices. And so when I checked my collection, I had at least 14 to 15 fragrances that actually had a strong and very present patchouli note. Some of them, not so much. Some of them are some of my faves. Some of them are heavy likes, and some of them are just okay. I do have a lot of fragrances to go through. And if you're a patchouli lover, tell me which fragrances are your top patchouli fragrances. So let's get started. So the very first one I have is Reb'l Fleur by Rihanna. This fragrance is either liked or disliked. I'm definitely on the like train, very like train, the heavy like train, because I just am. This fragrance, I went through a journey with it. I tested it out for like 3 days in a row just to kind of gauge how I felt about it. And this one is kind of wearable throughout the year, honestly. I have to be in the mood for it though, and sometimes when I am in the mood, like it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold, I will go for it. This one is described as a shipper fruity fragrance. I only have the 1 fluid ounce, but honestly, whenever this is done, I will definitely repurchase it because I like it enough to repurchase it. This one has a lot of fruity notes, but it also has a coconut note, which gives it a little bit of a tropical touch. And in the base, that is where you have the patchouli. The longevity on this one is not bad at all, and I truly enjoy using this one. So if you do not have Reb'l Fleur in your collection, I suggest that you try this one out. This one to me goes on the sexy lane, like it's also very sexy. So this is my first fragrance with patchouli in the base, and that might be what contributes to the longevity in this one. Like it's not a beast mode fragrance, but the longevity is pretty decent. If you want to see my video on this fragrance, I will link it up here or down in the description box, so be sure to check that out. I really enjoyed that test whenever I wore it for multiple days in a row. And yeah, so this one again is Reb'l Fleur by Rihanna. The next one is what I consider my signature scent. Although I'll be honest, since I have gotten a much bigger collection, I have not been reaching for it a lot, but my love for this fragrance is still very present. If you know me, you know which one I'm talking about. We are talking about Vie Belle by Lancome. This fragrance is one of the fragrances I've used over and over again. I have used bottles, I've repurchased. I love it a lot, if you cannot tell already. This one to me is very sweet. This one has like a gourmand touch to it because you have praline, you have vanilla, but you also have your patchouli in the base. Some people consider this to be sickeningly sweet. I do not feel that way. I can wear it without feeling like I'm overwhelmed or it's not too heady to me. So I personally love this. It's a staple in my collection, and I pretty much cannot imagine my collection without Vie Belle. I have other flankers of it, which I also enjoy a lot, and I will continue to have this one. So basically this is just a sweet gourmand, you know, your spun sugar, your vanilla, like I mentioned, and definitely a patchouli note that gives it that extra edge to me, and I love this one so much. So the next one I'm about to talk about, I recently added it to my collection thanks to Jasmine Bullard here on YouTube. She did a Zara haul, talked about the Zara fragrances, and one in particular she kept raving about, so I had to get it. I'm talking about Gourmand Addict by Zara. This is your cheaper fruity fragrance. This one has very few notes. You have peach in the opening. In the base, you will find the patchouli. I do like it a lot. I do not think that it is extremely long lasting. So after wearing it and testing it out, I don't think that this one is super long lasting. It is just a sweet, pretty fragrance. I do like it. Let's see. Like I just resprayed it now and I'm like, yes, I know and remember why I like this. So from the very first spray, I liked it. It's not to me a love. I really truly enjoyed this, especially in the opening. It's just so pretty. And yeah, so Patchouli in the base. And again, this is Gourmand Addict by Zara. The next one is one that will be no surprise to you guys, because if you are familiar with Chanel fragrances, Patchouli makes a repeated appearance in many of their fragrances. So we're talking about Chanel Chance, and this is the Eau de Toilette. Now, for me, the Eau de Toilette is, I always say it performs like an Eau de Parfum. It is just as long lasting, just as bold as the Eau de Parfum. As a matter of fact, it is sharp, but yet still it has the sweet notes in it. It also contrasts with the sweet floral notes. Like, this one is amazing. This one is classy. I feel like a fragrance every girl should have in a collection, honestly. But the patchouli in there is almost like you get a double dose of patchouli. So this one is just like super bright, sharp, bold, but still sweet. It has that Chanel DNA that you know and love. I really like this. Another one I feel like should always be in my collection, to be honest. So again, this is Chanel Chance Eau de Toilette. This one is heavy on the patchouli in my opinion. Like, if you're looking for patchouli, a note that stands out, I feel like this one does it. So I'm talking about one of my absolute loves, and this one is Angel Muse by Mugler. Y'all, this has to be in my top 5. Like, if I had a top 5, this would have to be in it. So this is the Eau de Parfum. It's an Eau de Toilette which I really want to get my hands on. I just know I'll enjoy it because it has that more summery, fruity, tropical vibe. So on Mugler's website, it is described as a Gourmand Vetiver perfume. So this one is, I would say, probably one of the most unique fragrances I have in my collection, because it has that creamy hazelnut spread type of note, that cacao note, so it gives it that edible touch. The depth of it comes from the patchouli and the vetiver. It is warm, it is deep, it is so good, y'all. Like, I cannot stop raving about this. I love it so much. Has to be in my collection. Love this. Again, this is Angel Muse by Mugler. The next one comes from the house of Mugler as well, a more recent addition to my collection, and I'm talking about this happy, beautiful, summer, vibrant fragrance from Mugler. This is Eau Croisière. It's an Eau de Toilette. I love it. It also performs like an Eau de Parfum, to be honest. It is so pretty. Like, it's such a happy scent, y'all. It's fresh and fruity and still sharp enough to give it edge in the base. Like, love it. I feel like I would say this is unique. It's not like a fragrance you smell every day. If you are an angel lover from Mugler and you like that angel DNA, you have some of it in there, but this one is like a happier angel. Like, she's just skipping around town, just happy and vibrant and just living life to its fullest, you know. So this is a beautiful, pretty scent. This one has a fig note in it. You have praline, magnolia, vanilla, and of course patchouli. So this is Eau Croisière from Mugler, and another one which I love. So the next one I have comes from Swiss Arabian. This is Florence. This is my second fragrance from the house. So this one I kind of expected more of a citrusy, more of a vibrant note when I got it. If you saw my video, or if you are interested in looking at it, I will also link it for you guys. But this one ended up being like a sweet, let's see. This one has sandalwood, cedar, patchouli in the base. It also has musk. On the opposite end, you have some sweet notes. You have vanilla, you have praline, kind of like tones down like that woodiness from it. And it totally reminds me of Intense Cafe. I don't know about you guys, but if you've smelled both of them, they have very similar notes, I feel, especially in the heart of it. that rose vanilla praline combo definitely reminds me of Intense Cafe by Montal. This one is warmer than I would have liked it to be, so now I have to try, what's the other one? Oh, I want to try Valencia because I feel like it will give me that freshness that I'm looking for. But this one is warm for sure, and if you do not have Intense Cafe and you always wanted to try it, I feel like this is a good dupe for it. If you are expecting a citrus burst from it though, you will not get that, because to me, to my nose, I do not detect the citrusy notes from it. The depth that I get is definitely from the base, but the opening is not citrusy like I imagined that it would be. This is Florence by Swiss Arabian. The next one on my list is a fragrance that is very popular, very well known. Most people love it. Some people feel like it's so popular to the point of being like mainstream, which, like, I don't care if a fragrance is mainstream. If I like it, I'm gonna rock it, and I'm really gonna rock it. So I'm talking about Flower Bomb. Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf it deserves like a category of its own. It came into the market and it just made waves and people fell in love and people had to have it. I'm one of those people. So I really truly love this one. This is a floral bouquet. A lot of people don't talk about the sweetness that they get from Flower Bomb. To me, I would say it is equal parts sweet as well as floral. The patchouli in the base with the vanilla just adds more to make it what it is, what we know and love as Flower Bomb. So this is iconic, y'all. Like, you have to have this in your collection. This is a must-have, in my opinion. So beautiful, and I love it. I love it a lot. So Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. The next one I have comes from the House of Versace. It's said to have patchouli in it. Maybe that's one of the reasons I like it, but to be honest, I don't detect it much. In this fragrance, I detect more of the fruity notes, the crisp Granny Smith apple that comes from this one. I'm talking about Dylan Blue. This fragrance was kind of like an accidental acquisition. If you've heard the story from it, you know that my mom had it. She did not like it, and I gave her my Lancome La Nuit Reso A, the original, because she wanted it. She liked the bottle. So I was like, well, we have to switch. So she got that and she loved that one, and I got Dylan Blue, which I also like. This one to me is definitely fruity floral, but it's also airy, and a little bit of like cleanness comes from it as well. It has a sharp airiness, if that makes sense. So like I said, this one has patchouli in the base, which to my nose is not like the most prominent note. I definitely detect the sweetness from the fruits, especially that apple. There's also peach and other stuff in there, but yeah, the fruity notes in this one definitely come out, and the reason it's mentioned is because of that patchouli note, obviously, because that's what we're doing. I like this one. I do like it. I use it all the time. I've showcased it on my Instagram. Like, I use it, so I don't mind it, and I don't know if I'll repurchase it, but I definitely enjoy having it in my collection. So yeah, I'm really excited about the next one because it's new to my collection. I love it very much, and I end up getting the wrong perfume, but it ended up being the right one because I love it so much. I'm talking about C Intense by Giorgio Armani. This one is not the version I wanted. I wanted the new version. There was an entire mix-up with the C versions, like too many C's, right? So I did not get the 2021 version, but I end up liking the 2014 version. So the fragrances have a lot in common. You have the black currant in there, the cassis. Definitely has those fruity notes, but it has a lot of like character to it. Like, it's not just like a boring fruity fragrance. Like, it's like a deep, dark, fruity fragrance, if that makes sense. It has, like I said, black currant, cassis, freesia. Oh, something gives it like a really, I don't know if it's the woody notes or the ambroxan, but something gives it a little bit of edginess, and it just kind of like balances off the sweetness. I do feel like both versions are very similar, and I don't think you need both because I have had samples of the 2021 version like I mentioned when I did the unboxing, and I feel like they're very similar. But the 2021 version also has its own little thing. So if you want to own both, and to be honest, I'm on the whole C train right now, so I wouldn't mind adding it to my collection, but I don't think you need both C Intense versions. I truly don't, but this is beautiful. The bottle is dark and mysterious, kind of just like how I imagine the juice looks like, although it doesn't come off dark. But I feel like I imagine the juice being dark and mysterious but sweet at the same time. It's a little bit of a mysterious fragrance in a sense, like from the packaging down to the blend of notes. Like, I like this so much, y'all. I don't know if I would say it's super intense, but it's definitely more intense than, say, the original. See, you know, I love the gold frame around the bottom. I love the gold hair. Like, it's just a really interesting packaging and bottle, and your girl loves this. At this point, it's like a C addiction, if we're being honest. So yeah, C Intense 2014 version by Giorgio Armani. The next one is one I've had since 2020. I was super excited to add her to my collection. This is from the House of Lancôme. I love the House of Lancôme, in case you didn't know. And y'all, this is La Nuit Reso A la Folie. This is like a flanker of the original one. This one is like syrupy and sweet, but still has like pink pepper, which gives it a kick. It's kind of sexy. All of the things. I love this so much. Seriously, this is loaded with just enough of everything to make it so unique. After having worn it for a long time and having it in my collection, I do think it's a little bit syrupy in like just like the vibe that it gives. But I love it. I love it. And of course you have patchouli in the base. This one lasts pretty long on me personally. I love it. I enjoy the packaging. And I really used it a lot during the cooler months. I'm still using it now, but not as much. It's addictive. It's a vibe. Love it. I have the only one by Dolce & Gabbana. This is the original. And this one is a warm, cozy, sweet, coffee, vanilla, caramel, heavy fragrance. I've compared this to Black Opium just because of the similarity in the notes. They are very, very similar in my opinion. But this one is definitely super caramelly, sweet. The coffee note not so prominent to my nose, to my skin. It settles more caramel, vanilla heavy on me than, say, the coffee note. There is patchouli in the base of this. To me, I don't detect it as much as some of the other ones that I've mentioned. But I do enjoy this fragrance a lot. And I recently got the only one Intense, which I am loving equally. I like them for very different reasons. The other one gives me like that boss chick, confident, sexy kind of girl vibe. And this one gives me sweet, comforting, like cozy, just want to be cuddled in front of the fireplace type of vibe. So they're related but very different. This one is the only one by Dolce & Gabbana. The next one I actually have not used it much because this one I have a love-hate relationship with. So sometimes I smell it like I just did now and it smells good. It smells amazing. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know, like there's a strength to it. People describe it as being clean, but I feel like it's very sharp at the same time. Let's spray it again. Oh. So I just sprayed it right now and it smells so good. So my love-hate relationship with my Burberry still exists because I love it one minute and then I don't like it so much. I don't care for it too much. I just sprayed it and it was truly amazing. And then whatever. I have the shower gel for this. I have the body lotion, the whole set. And this one to me, when I first sprayed it, I thought that there was a vetiver note and there isn't. Don't know. So you have patchouli in the base for sure. I seriously still feel like there's like a vetiver note. It's not listed, but I just feel like there is. So you have lots of fruity notes in this one, although that is not what like I feel like I get from it. I get more of that patchouli. I get more of that vetiver that I keep thinking I smell. There's also a leather note. So this one is a little complicated. It's clean, but it's also sweet, and it also has a lot of depth to it. As you can see, I've not used it that much, and I've already promised it to a girlfriend, which I need to send over to her. So hey girl, you know yourself, send me your address, I got you. I'm gonna send this to her because if I cannot decide if I just love it or I hate it, I cannot stay in the in-between journey. So I'm getting rid of this one and I'm sending her to a home where she'll be appreciated. So yeah, I love the packaging, by the way. It's so sturdy and beautiful. So my Burberry. So on my list of amazing fragrances with a patchouli note, I will end on a fabulous note, and I will talk about Coco Mademoiselle, often referred to as Coco Mad. Like, she has all kinds of nicknames, but she is a beauty. This one is classy. This is long lasting for sure. This one is a compliment getter. When I feel like I can no longer detect it, somebody will say something about my fragrance. Coco Mad is just so fancy, so beautiful. My amour is just not staying centralized, and I'm just not here for it. Okay. So she's everything, y'all. It's classified by Chanel as a bold, floral, woody fragrance. It is exactly that. It's a combination of notes that just make you feel like confident and sophisticated, elegant and classy, but still like in charge of your life, and you're just about your business, you know? Yeah, the base of this one is uber complicated. It has like patchouli, vetiver, vanilla, tonka bean. It has a little bit of everything in the base of this one. What I have been using it sparingly, and hopefully I don't run out anytime too soon. But definitely this is gonna be my scent of the day tomorrow. I just realized how much I miss wearing this. So the final one for my patchouli fragrances is Coco Mademoiselle, and I love it so much. That is it for my video. All my fragrances with patchouli in my collection. Now, there were some honorable mentions in there, but I didn't feel like the patchouli note was prominent enough to mention it. And also because on the brand's website, they did not mention patchouli, and on Fragrantica, there's patchouli. So I'm not sure. So I will tell you though, we have Soleil Cristal. I'm not surprised that they mention patchouli in there. However, for that fragrance, you have more of the ylang ylang. You have more of the coconut note, which gives it that very tropical summery vibe. You also have Si Passione and Si Fiori. I don't detect that whatsoever because they are also light to me. They're more floral and sweet, and definitely I don't detect that patchouli, at least to my nose. From my collection, I also have Miss Dior on my honorable mention because there's also patchouli supposedly in there. It's not that prominent to me. So this is the entire list of fragrances. So if you're a patchouli lover, let me know in the comment section which fragrances you love, which fragrances are your top patchouli fragrances, and if you just don't care for patchouli, what is your favorite fragrance note? This video is so long, y'all, but she's gonna be posted today. So that is it for the video. Thank you for hanging in there if you did, and I will be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye bye.